Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Christelle Martinette, and I'm here with the reading for the second half of June, from the 15th to the 30th. Now, why am I here? We all know that in the second half of the month, on the 20th, there's the solstice, winter and summer solstice, depending on which hemisphere you are in. And on the 21st, there is the solar eclipse, new moon, solar eclipse. Now, because of this very powerful energy, I think it would be really important if we talk about the solstice a little bit so you can get into the ritualistic state of mind. So what is this solstice? It's the time in every summer or winter, depending on where you are, when the sun reaches its highest peak in our sky, and each winter when it reaches its lowest point. So these events are the solstices, and they correspond with each of our own rhythms. And this is really important, helping us to understand what and where to focus on in this changing cycle of life. They're powerful points, as I mentioned, in the celebration of light. And it's a moment when you should honor your path and consciously expand. Let's talk a bit about the power of the sun. It's no surprise that the sun is one of the most powerful planets, natural forces. I don't want to call it a planet. It has had so much importance in human history. So the history of humans honoring and worshiping and revering the sun spans all different kinds of cultures, times, and dimensions. Now, there are symbols of the sun, like the compass with a center point and a circle, a dot in between, that are highly spiritual, have highly spiritual significance for us. And at the basis of this entire ritualistic period is the idea of change, the idea of cycles, the idea of changing season, much like this cycles of sowing and harvesting. They've always been key points in the human life cycle. So the continuing changing of the seasons also represents certain specific stages in your inner journey. I would say the soul journey. Every year, on and around the solstice, a beautiful energetic spike and an opening to a higher realm of spirit is created. So this is why I'm spending a few minutes talking about this. This is due to the Earth's alignment with the great central sun and the galactic center. Now, just as the cycles of the sun, there are peaks and lows in your spiritual journey, in our spiritual journey. There are times to move forward, times to share, times to go inward, times to reflect, and times to extend yourself, times to step back, and even the dark nights of the soul that many of us know very well. We are human after all. Now, in this way, the solstice is a natural way to reconnect with life's divine plan and to feel a deep connection to all of life and the natural world. So it's important to reflect on our journey, on your journey, because it's a way to celebrate the solstice. You honor and you celebrate your unique journey, our unique journey, and the cycles within walking a spiritual path and living a human life as well. These rituals, these solstice rituals, include everything from simple gatherings, bonfires, community celebrations, dance, ceremonies, and the telling of stories. The storytelling has always spanned the ages, and each of these rituals can remind you just how connected you are with all life. Now, in history, by participating in rituals, people felt understood, and simultaneous, at the same time, they felt more intimate with nature. And though humanity has largely lost today connection to these ceremonies and understandings, it's not too late. Okay, it's not too late to tap into the power of the sun and its influence, its powerful influence over our lives. Now, there are 7 cycles, rituals that I would like to suggest. 7 solstice rituals that celebrate the changing cycles. You celebrate your light and honor the energy of the solstice with these simple solstice rituals to bring and attract joy and love and light into your life. The first is rising and shine. You rise and shine with the light. So right when you wake up on the day of the solstice, and I'm speaking to you at least a week before, just about a week before even putting your feet on the floor, allow yourself to generate and be filled with a sense of light and joy. Tune into all that you have to be grateful for, while you visualize light energy filling you and all around you. Invite in the presence of your guides and angels, spirit guides and angels, the presence of divine light and the energy and vibration of love. Let yourself bask and be filled with divine light. Put yourself in the center of this light and this positive energy, and feel the oneness and connection with the divine and all that is. When you're ready, begin to imagine the positive energy of the light is now rippling out around you to the entire universe. That's the first. The second one is a candlelight meditation. You find a quiet place and space indoors, and you light a candle and begin to focus inward. As you consciously relax and you breathe, gaze gently into the candle. Enjoy simply being there, breathing, and reflecting on the qualities of the light that you see in that candle. Begin to tune into the vast supply of light around you, as well as the light that you carry within you at all times. When you're ready, close your eyes and visualize your light glowing brighter and brighter and brighter within. You relax, you breathe, and you let go of the need to focus on the world around you. And instead, allow yourself to drift in a relaxed and peaceful meditative state. The third ritual is to experience your oneness with Mother Earth. Walk outside and sink your feet into the earth. Take your shoes off, put your feet into the earth. Feel your energy grounding to the core of Mother Earth in a column of light, as if the light would be traversing you from top to the ground. Visualize the light pouring into your crown chakra at the top of your head and warming you, refreshing your energy and filling your aura with the divine life consciousness present in the fresh sunlight. As you stand on the earth, on Mother Earth, with your feet apart, your arms uncrossed, and your hands facing up in a gesture of receiving, feel the sun's healing warmth in every part of your body. Breathe in the sunbeams. Feel the light filling your spinal column. Enjoy this deep connection to the earth. In my recent videos, the live videos, many of you have asked me, how can I contact my guides? How can I, during meditation, I don't hear anything, I don't feel anything. Try to take it one step at a time. And the solstice is an excellent time to do this. Another ritual is to honor the directions. What do I mean by the directions? Many indigenous tribes and ancient cultures around the world have observed for a long time and celebrated the directions. There's a special kind of power that you can tap into by turning into them. To do this, and in addition to the 4 cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west, I also like to tune into the sky, the earth, and the light within. And as you tune into each direction, face that way. Face east, face west, face north, south, in, above, and below. Movement, dance, or yoga are wonderful ways to further experience this connection with each of these sacred directions. Now, another ritual is to set your intentions, and this is probably the most important. The most important. You find a quiet space to relax and breathe and focus inside. When you've reached a deeper meditative state of mind, set the intention to feel a sense of transcendence and oneness. Visualize this sensation being rooted within you and then expanding outward to impact all other areas of your life. Next, begin to think about specific areas you would like to expand upon in your daily life. Perhaps your relationships, expressing joy, experiencing perhaps greater love, greater abundance, manifesting a new opportunity, a promotion at work, or whatever is important for you during the next 6 months. If you are doing this ritual during the winter solstice, those of you down under, in that southern hemisphere, think about those things that you would like to remove from your life, focusing more on what you want to release so you can then begin to move forward. Okay. Give thanks for the opportunity to focus on this work. That's how we should always end our rituals. Now, another one is what I call the fire ceremony. Solstice. I knew I was going to get my tongue tied. Solstice fire ceremony. Either summer or winter, fire is always a wonderful way to honor and celebrate the light as humanity has always done during the centuries. Honoring the solstice with fire is simple. You light a candle or make a small fire outdoors and let yourself reflect on the beauty and qualities of the light. And on a piece of paper, you write down things you have accomplished, things you have finished, things you have done, things you've accomplished during the last 6 months. And this is just to take a minute and then read what you've written and read it out loud before burning the paper in celebration and gratitude. Letting go of any attachment to the past and paving the way for new opportunities, manifestations, and accomplishments in the future is what this ritual usually does. And the last one I would like to mention is to create a solstice altar. Probably I should have said this in the beginning, but maybe at the end of all that we've done, it still will make sense to you. A solstice is the perfect opportunity to spend some time with your personal altar. Many of you may not even know what that is. I used to have an altar when I was such a child. My sisters used to think I was crazy. They thought I would become an ecclesiastic a priest or a nun or some high priestess, and they would make fun of me all the time. Whether you make this altar inside through meditation, where you see that earth sanctuary place, that meditation, or outside of you on the form of an actual physical altar. I use my window as my altar. It doesn't matter. It could be inside or outside if you have the space, but creating a physical altar, a place actually that you can see, is a fun way to create a physical representation of your inner connection to the light and the divine, and to represent the energies you're inspired to connect with, to build, to manifest in your life. So in order to create a solstice altar, first, find some sort of table or shelf. Like I said, I use my window. It's right under light. So every time I put my crystals there, any full moon, every moon cycle, they're always in the light of the moon. And somewhere the light can shine in to that altar, because the solstice is all about light. Now, whenever you choose to create your altar, choose colors of fabric, objects, candles that remind you of the sun, of light, citrine, for example. And it reminds you of your spirituality and of the connection that you have with the divine, the sun, and the natural world. And more importantly, with you yourself. Remember that the solstice is a time of celebration and connection. Let that altar you create remind you of all of this that is personal to you. Now, I'd like to end with that on the solstice, but before we go on, I'd like to explain how I'll be doing the readings before I go into it. I'll be using a tarot deck, which is called Intuiti. It's Intuiti Creative Cards. Why am I using this? This is a deck that I have found, and it was created by a group of researchers in Milan, and they studied thousands and thousands of different tarot decks around the world and from different cultures. And they created a deck with major arcana and minor arcanas that are completely different from the universal tarot, the Rider-Waite. It's completely different. Similar in many meanings, I have to say. So there are 22 majors, and there are the rest minor. And there are the numbers from 1 to 10, plus the page, queen, knight, and king and knight. And they change around the order of the court cards. Instead of having the king in the end, is the knight in the end, because they give a certain specific importance to the knight. And they have 4 suits: the air, water, fire, and earth. So it's quite interesting, because it allows you to break away from the set meanings of the tarot cards that are similar, the Rider-Waite has inculcated in our minds, and lets us be more intuitive, allow for more intuition to seep through in our interpretation of the cards and the visions that we see. So this will be fun, and I'll be using, of course, my runes at the end, and if I need clarification, I'll do that. So on to the readings. Namaste. And right under each reading, ladies and gentlemen, how it resonated, if it resonated. What was it about the reading you liked? What was it about the reading you don't like? Then they say in Italian, you have to have wide shoulders for criticism. Well, my shoulders are pretty wide. I'll take it. Have fun, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back, and on to the readings. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Pisces friends. I'm here for the reading for the second half of June for you. Let's see what's in store for you, Pisces, for the second half of June. Spirit, show me what's in store for Pisces for the second half of June. What is the energy around Pisces for the second half of June? Spirit, show me the energy around Pisces for the second half of June. Okay, this is a earth sign. This is the 9 of earth. Now, what's important here for you to know, Pisces, is that it causes a leap upward. This 9 is pushing you upward. The elements increase. The elements around you, the things that you need to take care of, increases. Even the situations of equilibrium and movement becomes very, very complex at the beginning, right at the beginning of this cycle around the 15th. Then we have we have this king of earth, and the king is a domineering and dominating figure, and a court. I can't call it a court card. These cards are different, as I said, but it represents an extremely powerful domination. And there is this phallic masculine structure where all of the elements point upward, as you can see. And there is a movement towards a spirituality here between, there are two earth signs here, and they do speak and smack of spirituality. Now let's go on and I'll show you. Here we have the water sign, and this is a knight. Why are we looking at this knight in such a beautiful way, in all its glory? The symbol rests on the ground. Okay, the symbol of this card is on the ground, and it emanates from energies that are moving upward, that are spun in the air like sacred geometric shapes. Here too, the message here, Pisces, resounds very clear that you are moving into your power. You're becoming an entity, a person who is not shielding, but wrapping yourself with a cloak that has light sewn right into it. It's a beautiful to see. Now we have the fire sign here, and we have the queen of fire. And many of you may be involved with a fire sign, which is Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. And what is interesting for the queen, there's the presence of the symbol, and it concentrates on the horizontal and on the vertical line, according to the elements activity. Here we have fire, and you have fire going in all directions, ladies and gentlemen, Pisces. And if you are not involved with a fire sign, here I have an outward passionate extension. And where is that going? Here's another fire sign, which is the Six of Wands. We can see that the sixes offer you here a system that brings itself back to equilibrium. So what are we looking at here, ladies and gentlemen, Pisces? We're looking at a moment in time when you are in disequilibrium, focusing once again and becoming extremely powerful in your movement toward a spiritual purpose. Not only, there is harmony in sacred geometric design in the heavens for you, Pisces. You have the cloak of light. You're wearing the cloak of light. There is perhaps involvement with a fire sign, but I'm seeing this more as passion being brought in many different directions. Why? Because you, Pisces, are the person who will be communicating all that is spiritually reawakening to others. You will be a catalyst. You will be a catalyst of spiritual reawakening. I'm going to take my runes here and take a look at what they have to add here. Really lovely, really lovely, these cards and the messages they are offering us. Let's see. Look, we have at the very top this nameless, faceless rune called Weird. There is a fated element here in this period of time. This is a time when you will be first of all, love is around you. Love will be coming in. Love is in its final stages. Not final. Final in the sense that finally it will be gelling. You will be coming together, and you will definitely understand the definition, the type, the distinction of your relationship with the specific person that is quite unique, very unique with regard to all others and all past relationships. And it will be disclosed to you. There is this rune called Need, and the rune Need generally talks of a delay, of constraints, and this signals to me that you may not be meeting them face to face. You may not be in a position of having direct communication, but will be communicating on a different level. Then we have Fehu here, which is fulfillment. This is romantic or financial gains. And with the other runes, I'm looking at as a little bit of both. You cannot see all of them. I've only shown you a few. Now, what do I have here? I've got here Urus, and it's bright stave. It's right side up. This is strength, vital force, energy. It's a recovery also from illness. If you've been low energetically, this is a recovery. This is definitely a recovery. These are strong emotions, especially if you're males, Pisces, it's a period of strong emotions, extremely strong emotions. And it does call on you for sacrifice, Pisces. And if you can tune back into the beginning of this video, I speak about different rituals. In your meditative practice, do ask what type of sacrifice is required of you. It could be anything. It could be as little as giving up something, or as great as never again seeing someone for both your goods. It could be anything. Now we have Thurisats, and Thurisats is a very powerful rune. Thurisats is this is Merkstave, it's upside down. So usually it's protection, usually it's luck. Here it's on, I call it, it's on a sort of razor blade edge, this Thurisats, and especially when paired with runes like Awats, it is signaling fire to you. Remember this fire moving in all directions. Your passion extending to help others in your healing process. Extreme in your healing process, but extending yourself to aid their healing process. I have here Tyr, and Tyr in this position is Merkstave. And Tyr usually talks about victory in competition. I don't see competition. So there need not be victory here, but there is extreme motivation. There's an increase in power, the increase in your spiritual power. I do hope this was of help, ladies and gentlemen, Pisces friends. Namaste, and until we read together again, bye-bye.